This is Dr. Andrew Jones. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, I'm going to be talking about 7 pet Halloween safety tips. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Jones. I typically don't dress like this. Today's video is a little bit different. We're almost at Halloween, and I thought it was important we discuss some pretty common sense pet safety tips. But in the spirit of doing a Halloween video, I've chosen to dress up. Tried to avoid any scary outfits, although my son just said it, I look pretty scary. And so you get the hair, this pink dressy skirt thing, whatever it is, and then I'll even step back, it even gets worse. It even involves some flesh. Yeah, very scary. But the point of the video is not about me and my bad outfit, it's about some of the stuff you should be aware of so your dogs and cats can be safe this Halloween. So the first point is having proper identification, ideally on your dogs and on your cats. I'll just zoom in, and all of you, especially with your dog, should all have your dogs ID'd in some form, and you should have some type of ID so you can at least have your cat recognize one if they're lost. Ideally something looking like a microchip, so if they go to a clinic or a shelter they can be scanned and can be found. Because as we can know, especially in the cats, it can be hard to keep a collar on and an ID. Or even consider it something like a tattoo. At least it's, close to being semi-permanent. My second point is if you are going to put costumes on your pets, such as I'm going to show you Lewis, and I'll even try to sneak a little costume on Gussie. First of all, just make sure that they're comfortable fitting, that your dog, your cat is okay with the idea of the costume. There's no way there's going to be anything restricting that's going to harm them in any way, or if they're panicking, that they can't be hurt in some way. So first, here's Gussie's costume. I'm going to try to sneak it on her. This will be her lone sort of Halloween cameo appearance, I think. Then Lewis, he's our friendly bumblebee, and it kind of suits him because he's kind of got that easygoing, I'm happy most of the time personality. Good boy, Lewis. Good boy. Yes. He's trying to fly. Good boy. Yes. Be aware of all the potential toxic candies that are out there. Obviously the biggest, most common toxin most of you can think of will be chocolate. So we've got theobromine and caffeine, and it's the dark chocolate which is most toxic. It just takes 2 baker squares, are severely toxic to a small 10-pound dog. So especially the dark chocolate. So just avoid any of your dogs getting near chocolate. Just being really cautious of those dogs that eat stuff, those labs that like to get into things. Lewis being one of them. And the next most common one, and I think one that's lesser known, is the stuff that is sugar-free. So these candies, this gum I've got here for instance, it's marketed as sugar-free, but the sweetener in it is xylitol, which is very, very toxic to our pets. I mean, a small amount, 2 or 3 pieces are enough to cause, in some of our small dogs, cause hypoglycemia. That's low blood sugar. The body recognizes it as too much sugar, can cause us low blood sugar. Signs that we see, for instance, in a diabetic dog having too much insulin. So low blood sugar, seizuring, extreme cases, coma. So be really cautious of that. I mean, because more and more of the treats now are marketed are sugar-free ones which contain xylitol, which is especially toxic. The fourth thing I want you guys to be wary of are candles. Many of us have got carved pumpkins, such as this pumpkin will be carved here. We're going to have a candle in it. Just watch your pets around candles. And we have an older cat behind us, Gussie, who isn't as agile as she once was. And anytime we have any type of candle being lit, I'm really cautious about watching where she's walking, because it would be so easy for her just to have her, light her fur on fire. Number 5, in general, there can be issues around pets and Halloween in terms of, these people having issues around black cats, this whole mythology about black cats. possible to even extend to our dogs. So obviously my biggest suggestion is just keeping your dog or your cat inside for the night as opposed to them being outside, running into any unruly teenagers or anyone else who's potentially may cause them harm, advertently or inadvertently. Point number 6 is there can be a whole lot of loud noises during Halloween. A whole bunch of different things are happening. You know, kids knocking on the door, banging on the door. They're all excited. They're dressed up. So 1, as I just said earlier, you want to keep your pets inside. 2, I suggest not even having them right at the door unless you've got a super relaxed, easygoing dog who doesn't mind all that commotion, is happy to see people. But that being said, even with that loud noise, if you've got someone at all, especially these dogs prone to anxiety, either 1, you know, keeping them away from that area where the kids are coming in. 2, consider giving them something just to take down, you know, the level of their anxiety. And I want to give you a couple different options here. First of all, 1, here's a real simple one. It's called a Bach Remedy. It's actually called a Rescue Remedy. Used to use it in practice. Lots of clients reported that it was helpful. And you're just putting 2 to 3 drops, you know, per 10 pounds of body weight into your dog or cat's mouth. It's safely tolerated by dogs and cats. And yeah, and it works pretty quick. I find in about 15 or 20 minutes it has an effect. So that's one option. The other option is this amino acid found in green tea, L-theanine. We're looking at doses of 1 milligram per pound approximately. So for something like Lewis, he get about a little over 100 milligrams. I brought this one out here. It's called, I've showed it in one of my other videos. It's called Mental Calmness. It's used for people decreasing anxiety. It's a super safe anti-anxiety supplement, a natural supplement. It takes about an hour to have an effect. Typically they're looking at, you know, giving our cats somewhere between 25 to 50 milligrams, so about half one of these tablets. And a dog like Lewis, minimum 100, and maybe closer to 200 milligrams. So especially during Halloween, I'd be inclined to give them a good two of these tablets, about an hour, you know, prior to all the kids arriving, just making the night that much smoother. Number 7, my last big point is just using common sense and have fun with it. By all means, you know, enjoy Halloween with your pets. You know, for instance, you can go and dress them up like we've done to Lewis here. I don't know if he's happily dressed up, but he is. And Gussie here at the back. And just be aware of all those potential hazards and, you know, using your common sense so you can avoid any issues. Surprisingly, I was probably on call more often than not during Halloween. And invariably I had more than a number of emergency calls. Thank you for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets. If you've yet to do so, I encourage you to subscribe. You can do so by clicking that link in the box above. Then you can go ahead, click that link in the box below. I can send you my free books and videos, how to heal your pets at home with my top natural remedies.